Join now through November 24th. Shop in-store or at Lowe's.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. While supplies last, U.S. only, valid 10/28 through 11/24.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
Take a break from the hustle. This is Halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Want a chance to win tickets to every Dallas Cowboys home game this season? It's simple. Go to sasportstar.com and register to win. Win tickets to every home game on your home for the Dallas Cowboys. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Welcome back to Halftime. We go till 2 o'clock. My name's Michael Jimenez, joined by Jason Minix. A little bit of a technical difficulty at the end of the last block, but that's okay. We're back on, and we're live on Facebook. It's back on, so you can go on to Facebook Live. Check us out. Want to drop us a line on Twitter? My handle is at MikeESPNSA. Jason is at Jason Minix. And Pledger is at I Am Pledger. Again, welcome back. Man, last night's Monday Night Football game was a disaster for the LA Rams. From the get-go, they lose 31-10 to the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners, who hadn't won a home game all season long. And my question for you, Minix, is this. Can we now bury the Rams and say that they are no longer an elite team?
No. I really don't think you can. And you look at that 31-10 win last night by the San Francisco 49ers. They came out and had a great plan. RJ Ochoa said this on the Blitz yesterday. There's something about Kyle Shanahan beating the crap out of Sean McVay. I mean, there are certain things that you just know are going to happen. And you've seen every team in the NFL have some sort of clunker. Now you've seen 2 in a row, and while the Los Angeles Rams have clearly gone all in this year with the addition of some players, you are also messing with some of the chemistry. And I kind of go back to some things that Jerry Jones has said, when the trade deadline was coming up. It's like, we've got players on IR we've got to make room for. There is something about the locker room that you have to deal with and focus with. But, it's November. It's the middle of November. To write any of the good teams off completely off of one game or a 2-game sample size, it's the spin cycle of what we do as fans. Like, this team is good, this isn't. Where's your power rankings? I mean, what do you say about Arizona after the way they lost this weekend? Tampa Bay has lost 2 in a row. You had the Buffalo Bills losing last week to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do they have the pieces and parts to get hot at the right time? And I think the Rams still do, but they do show some vulnerabilities and just some stupid plays. What the hell was that from Deshaun Jackson?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, have you ever seen a more bonehead play? You had a guy make an interception with his butt that should have counted, damn it. I mean, you saw a lot of weird things in that game last night.
I look at the other side, and you're right. Can you get hot for a 3-game stretch? That's what it takes to win the Super Bowl. And the Rams have the personnel to do that. Now, they are missing Robert Woods. Woods out there really impacted that because not only is he a receiver, he's also one of their best blockers out there. He sets things up for a Cooper Kupp. He does a lot of the little things, the dirty things that don't come out on the box score. But Matthew Stafford, some of those throws he was making yesterday, who was he throwing to? He overthrew one of the interceptions he threw. He overthrew his receiver by about 12 yards. Straight into the arms of a safety.
And when you see that, I blame the wide receiver. I in a lot of situations like that, I will blame a wide receiver. I've been around enough coaches and quarterbacks who will never say it publicly on a podium afterwards. They'll take the blame for making that interception. But when you see a pass that is that overthrown, not under any kind of duress, just a bad throw, that tells me the receiver read the wrong route tree key or cut his route off short. To me, that probably was on the wide receiver. We will never know that, but when you see an interception that bad in a situation like that, I got to believe that the receiver didn't run the right route, or at least wasn't on the same page. If you see a high safety, this is what you do. Maybe Stafford made the wrong read. High safety there, receiver thought he should break it off, and Stafford threw it long, expecting his receiver to be there.
I like what you said earlier about the fact that a lot of these teams have lost a lot of games recently. I mean, Tampa Bay lost back-to-back games, but you can't write them off because they've got Tom Brady over there. He's the GOAT, and it's just one of those things. He will always be there, and until you take him out, you can't count him out, right? So that's one team you can't count out. You really can't count out the Packers. They're relatively healthy. I know they have some injuries with their running back as well, but A.J. Dillon can fill in, so he's perfectly fine. The Packers are probably the most complete team in the NFL right now. I would say that they're the best team in the NFL. When it comes to other teams out there, you mentioned the Cardinals. They've lost a game. Kyler Murray's been out, but they're not going to be a Super Bowl contender if they have Colt McCoy under center. That's one thing.
True.
Now, when it comes to the Cowboys, I look at it this way. If they are healthy, it doesn't matter what seed they are. They will be one of the top two teams in the NFC, even if they're number 3 or 4 in the rankings there, because they've been without Lawrence. They've been without Randy Gregory. They've been without starting members of the offensive line as well. And if they all come back and are healthy come December, that's why I don't think it's very important for them to win every single game. I think it's important for them to get healthy down the stretch. They have 3 pretty interesting games coming up. They've got the Chiefs, they've got the Raiders, and they've got the Saints. Now, the Saints don't have a good quarterback out there, but they have a very, very solid defense that kicked Brady's butt out there a few weeks ago. They have the Raiders, who up and down, a lot of turmoil going on outside of the stadium there. And then they've got Kansas City, who's finally starting to get things going, and they have discovered a running game. So this upcoming game, Sunday at 3:25, what are you expecting out of this upcoming game?
I expect the Cowboys win. And the fact that they're underdogs gives Mike McCarthy some monkey butt powder to help motivate his team.
Now, what is that monkey butt powder? I saw that all day yesterday. Please explain.
Monkey butt powder, and Pledge, I don't have the soundbite up, but if you could find it in a hurry, he called last week Red Ass Week. And, if you're a bigger guy and you sweat a lot, sometimes you use some powder so things don't get quite as red.
Here's Coach McCarthy explaining monkey butt.
Monkey butt, I highly recommend it if anybody's never used it. It's I won't get into my personal hygiene here, but it's
big guy.
Raw Red Ass Week was the topic. So we're just making an emphasis based off of correcting what went on last week, and I thought our players did a great job with it. So just had some fun with it. Just an emphasis of focus, just another way to focus.
This Cowboys version of don't eat the cheese.
Well, I mean, because they don't eat the cheese, and then they got their butts kicked by the Broncos. So then it was Red Ass Week. But it's actually anti-monkey butt powder. So you use the powder so you don't get the red ass and the uncomfortableness that comes with that. But it was something that, and I talked about this with Daryl Johnston, the Moose, yesterday on the Blitz when he joined us, about different things that coaches use to motivate their players. And something like that, funny, lighthearted, everybody kind of laughs about it, everybody kind of jokes about it, but you certainly get the message. And it's one of those leadership qualities that Mike McCarthy offers that he doesn't get near enough credit for. Remember last year it was busting the watermelons before they played the Minnesota Vikings. It's the little things like that. We hear a lot about it from Jeff Traylor. We don't hear a lot about it from a guy like Mike McCarthy, but it tells you he's connecting with the guys in the room. And for a defensive performance like that, without a Randy Gregory and without a DeMarcus Lawrence, That's pretty impressive for Dan Quinn's group on the defensive side.
No, I think the Cowboys were very impressive this past week, especially coming off the fact that they were stomped by the Broncos the week before, to the point where they were down 30-0 some point in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, it's very important for them to bounce back. Now, you mentioned a minute ago saying that this might be a little bit insulting for the Cowboys to be underdogs this upcoming game. I mean, come on, man. The Chiefs are at home. The Chiefs made the Super Bowl last year. The Chiefs have Mahomes. The Chiefs suddenly have a running game. So it's not out of the realm for the Cowboys to be an underdog on the road against arguably the AFC's hottest team.
Well, I mean, the hottest team for the week. I mean, the scary part is for the first time this year, Patrick Mahomes looked like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs look like the Kansas City Chiefs. But if the Cowboys can get a turnover or two, and Patrick Mahomes this year has thrown plenty of interceptions, Diggs has to be licking his chops. You saw Jordan Lewis step in. Anthony Brown had a solid interception against Matt Ryan. So when you look at the Cowboys defense and what they're doing on the offensive side, I think it is a little disrespectful that the Cowboys, one of the hottest teams in the National Football League, not just the NFC, road dogs. They're 8-1 against the spread this year. So when you look at it, it's motivation for the Cowboys. It's going to be a tough road game, and there's, you got billionaire BS going on too with the Preston Road Trophy and, the original team from Dallas against the current team from Dallas. I mean, there's a lot historically with this game, and it's going to be a fun one. It's, obviously 3:25. It's in that great TV time window, game of the week. I just look at the Cowboys and the offensive weapons. If they can do kind of what they did last week, especially now that Michael Gallup is back, you've got Zeke running the ball well. And if you get Tyron Smith back on the offensive side, only penalties are going to keep the Cowboys from winning this game. And that's part of the problem. The Cowboys have 3 guys in the top 10 in penalties this year.
Now, I agree with you that the key is going to be takeaways because we see how the Cowboys play when they're ahead. The recipe to beating the Cowboys was kind of exposed by the Denver Broncos. You need a team that can run the ball and just chew up the clock and keep Dak and the boys off the field. That's how you beat the Cowboys. The Chiefs have a running game now. Darrell Williams has come into his own. Clyde Edwards-Helaire might be playing in this game as well. So they've got a two-headed monster there in the backfield. And they would need to probably get about 100 to 120 yards between them in order for them to have a chance against the Cowboys. I agree with that. Now, the Cowboys, again, are 2.5-point underdogs. Pledger's trying to make the point, the fact that the home team typically gets 3 points from Vegas. So essentially, Vegas is saying that these two teams are kind of identical to each other when it comes to talent. Is that what you're saying is insulting?
I mean, no, I wouldn't let you put words in my mouth like that. I just figure, I wouldn't be surprised, especially, and I haven't seen the updated stats in a couple of weeks, but weren't the road teams winning more games earlier this season than the home teams, home field advantage kind of thing being gone? I just think head-to-head right now, the Cowboys have a more talented team, to sound like a coach, in all 3 phases. And quite frankly, you look at the Cowboys special teams, and I know Mike McCarthy said it, and he's right. That might be the best performing unit of the 3 this season on a consistent basis.
Some interesting stats here. The Cowboys are 8-1 against the spread this year. 8-1. They are 7-1 the last 8 games. 5-1 against the spread on the road. That one loss, by the way,
is Denver. Let's throw it out there.
Exactly.
It was the disaster against Denver.
And the Chiefs are terrible against the against the spread. 4-15-1 in their last 20 games against the spread. Vegas is trying to tell you something. My favorite bet of all this, by the way, is the fact that the over-under is only 55.5. Are you kidding me? This is going to be like a 44-30 game.
What's the weather in Kansas City this weekend? I haven't looked.
There's no precipitation predicted as of yet. I'm taking a look at that right now.
I mean, because if you look up, I mean, Kansas City could be weather, almost like the Green Bay-Seattle game, although I don't know that there's going to be snow. But, yeah, 55 certainly seems extremely low because, if it's 38-35, if it's, and this Cowboys team, and we've seen it, built the score into the 30s. And we finally saw them put it all together for a good part of the game. I mean, I really thought Mike McCarthy was going to go for 50 until I saw Cooper Rush. I mean, I really thought, and they could have, if they would have kept that offense out there and not put in Cooper Rush, the Cowboys could have had 50.
Taking a look right now, the temperature at 3 o'clock on Sunday is supposed to be 55 degrees in Kansas City, 10 mile per hour winds with a 20% chance of rain.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I asked a question to Rob yesterday. Real quick, want to ask you this. I asked him, who's the best team in the AFC? And he gave me a look for like 5 or 6 seconds with no answer. Who's the best team in the AFC right now?
The Buffalo Bills.
And that's sad.
Why is that sad?
That is sad because they'd be the 6th best team in the NFC right now.
They could be. I mean, I'll make the argument to argue with myself, the Tennessee Titans. You could put the Titans up there. I just have a hard time believing that this group is going to go that far without Derrick Henry.
Exactly.
And if Derrick Henry were healthy, I probably would have said the Tennessee Titans. The fact that they beat your New Orleans Saints this weekend, and I got a loss in my bad quarterback league because I put a lot of faith in that New Orleans Saints defense that Ryan Tannehill would have a bad game, and he did not.
Well,
Ryan Tannehill is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay, my Saints, I can't be disappointed. They don't have a quarterback, man. They're trotting.
You can be disappointed. You should be disappointed.
Trevor Siemian is the quarterback of my New Orleans Saints. I expect nothing. I hope they go 8-8. And then Pledge is letting me know it was a backdoor cover by the Saints. He's very excited about that. Hey, if you're excited, grab your phones because in the next 15 minutes, we're not doing it now, but in the next 15 minutes, we're giving away tickets to Ghostbusters Afterlife. Also at 1 o'clock, we're going to have Jeff Garcia from Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs joining us to talk about the Spurs taking on the Clippers tonight, and Solomon Wilcox, NFL star, former NFL star, at 1:30 talking about the Cowboys. This is halftime. We'll see you on the other side on ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com.
If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The hits just keep piling on the Texas Longhorns as their star running back Bijan Robinson will miss the remainder of the season with a dislocated elbow. Robinson was the team's leading rusher with 1,127 yards and 11 touchdowns. He was injured late in the third quarter of the Longhorns' 57-56 overtime loss to Kansas. The Dallas Mavericks won their 5th in their last 6 following last night's 111-101 victory over the Denver Nuggets. Kristaps Porzingis led the Mavs with 29 points and 11 rebounds. The Houston Rockets lost their 12th in a row in Memphis last night, 136-102. Ja Morant dropped 22 to lead the Grizzlies. And the Spurs are back in action in LA tonight, this time taking on Paul George and the Clippers. Tip-off is scheduled for 9:30. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Okay. Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pureline Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pureline Nutrition.
Diamonds Direct is breaking all the rules this weekend with the biggest and final store-wide sale of the year. 3 days of extra savings. Your final chance before the holidays to save an extra 20% on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones, huge savings across the board. And the selection is like double with entire designer lines flown in for this event. This is the best pre-holiday buying opportunity ever. Special financing too. Details at diamondsdirect.com. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys, at the shops at La Cantera.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing a medical problem of any kind, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find medical care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health comes to you. That's right. Receive high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort of your own home when you need it. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to your home, able to treat common to complex illnesses and injuries. It's really that simple. Go to dispatchhealth.com now to learn more and download the app so you're always just the touch of a button away from the quality health care you need. Dispatch Health is affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare. It's true, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the ease and comfort of your own home, all for an affordable price. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay comfortable, and let Dispatch Health come to you. Go to dispatchhealth.com and say hello to the modern-day house call. That's dispatchhealth.com. Go to dispatchhealth.com.
Sunday, Prescott and the Cowboys ride into Kansas City. Can a Chiefs slow down a team that's won 7 of its last 8? Find out Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewok Kubota. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, it's Greeny, and I've only got 10 seconds, so here's my plug. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Join the Blitz on Wednesday afternoon live at Texas Cheer Liquor. They'll have free samples and all the things you need out at Texas Cheer Liquor on Petranco, across from the Walmart, kind of outside of 1604. This is Wednesday from 4 to 7. Jason Minix hanging out in my hood, my man.
Absolutely. And you know, free samples means Rudy J appearance. So I'm pretty sure Rudy J is going to show up as well.
I think I'm forced to be there. Now, Rudy J lives in that area also, but I live about 3 miles away further down Petranco, down 1604.
Okay.
So I might jog over there for all I know.
Shut up. I don't want to hear you jogging over and then get thirsty, because then I'm going to have to drive you home.
I don't need to be driven home. I can just walk home at that point. Hey, welcome back. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. My name is Mikey Menace. You heard Jason Minix. You can come and see us Wednesday over at Texas Cheer Liquor, or on Thursday, Rock the Mic Finals, baby. Rock the Mic Finals. We crowned a new champion. Now, Katie Goodman and Alex Babai will join R&R in the morning tomorrow. Their last-ditch effort to try to win the crown. What can we expect on Thursday, Minix?
You know, the Rock the Mic finale is always a lot of fun. And you know, for the finalists, the 5 finalists, what are you doing, Pledge? I mean, there's a reason I took Friday off. I understand how Thursdays are going to work, right? It's always a fun party because, we hope that all the contestants, they show up, obviously, but bring your friends, bring your party, because you're either going to need somebody to drink with, to celebrate, or to commiserate with. I mean, that's kind of how it works.
I'm looking forward to it. Again, I was crowned Rock the Mic champion 2 years ago. As I mentioned to Rob yesterday, it was my Miss USA moment, because it was like the runner-up is, and then I didn't realize that I had won. It took about 5 seconds for it to kind of sink in that I actually won that contest a couple of years ago.
Because honestly, you didn't think you were going to win.
No, I didn't.
And that's the beauty of it. Whichever one of the 5 thinks they've got this in the bag, they're not winning.
I know. And I see the debate going on in the office about this, about who's the leader right now going into the final day, and the name changes every time.
Every time. That's why all these appearances matter.
All right, grab your phones. We're giving away tickets right now to Ghostbusters Afterlife. Call the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines at 656-ESPN. Again, 656-ESPN. We're looking for caller number 9 in honor of Tony Parker. Speaking of the Spurs, Jeff Garcia from Ken's 5.
Full read.
What's that?
You got to go full read. This isn't just going to see Afterlife. This is a special screening of Afterlife.
A special screening. My bad.
You've got copy right in front of you to read.
You don't have to read
I'm
it.
trying to hit my 55-50 marker, and I just went over, my man.
I understand what you're trying to do, but they got to understand that this is a one-time showing. They can't just go anytime like we've been giving out.
So shouldn't the producer explain that to the winner when you pick up caller number 9?
Exactly.
I mean, there are certain things that.
People, they do this in order to get live mentions during the show, and part of the live mention is the giving it away.
Is that how it works?
Okay, so it is a special screening.
This is what the Rock the Micers have to learn.
It is a special screening of Ghostbusters Afterlife, starring Paul Rudd, who is People Magazine's sexiest man alive. How's that? That's good?
That's nothing to do with the read.
Anyway, caller number 9 right now. We're going to have Jeff Garcia from Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs talking to us about Spurs. Solomon Wilcots will join us at 1:30 talking Cowboys. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM.
San Antonio Sports Star Pro Football Pick'em. Online at sasportsstar.com. Can you pick the perfect matchups all season long? If so, you could win $50,000. Weekly winners score gift cards to Pinkerton's Barbecue and the Mellow Mushroom. For official contest rules and to play, visit sasportsstar.com. Must be at least 21 years old to play this nationwide contest. One winner will be selected at the end of the season. The Pro Football Challenge from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Score points with some of the boldest, keto-friendly, protein-packed, and low-carb snacks out there. And with their new Southern Recipe Small Batch 6-bag variety pack, you'll get to choose a different flavored pork rind every time. Find Southern Recipe Small Batch at your local H-E-B, and you'll always have pork rinds ready to go. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect fever is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Hello, this is Discover, and we take customer service very seriously. We know that if you have a question or concern about your credit card, that's a serious matter, and you need to talk to a real person about it. So we offer around-the-clock access to seriously talented representatives in the USA. Again, it's a serious endeavor. The only funny thing about it is Bob. If you call us and Bob answers, you're in for a treat. Get 100% US-based customer service and talk to a real person day or night. Discover. Exceptionally common sense.
So much to explore at Total Wine and More. Pinot Noirs, Grigios, Champagnes, and Chardonnays, plus more than 2,500 beers and bourbon barrel-aged. Tequila, rum, scotch, gin, vermouth, that's extra dry. Hard seltzers and single malts, so many for you to try.
Now offering delivery in select markets. See details at TotalWine.com/delivery. Drink responsibly, B21.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Michael Jimenez.
Halftime. Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. My name's Michael Jimenez, joined by Jason Minix and James Pledger. Man, we had a lot of people calling in for those movie tickets, by the way. And apparently it's a bigger deal than I thought because it's a fan event over at the Santikos Palladium on November 19th. Ghostbusters Afterlife will be live streamed from Los Angeles on November 19th at 7 o'clock from the TCL Chinese IMAX Theater. Film director Jason Reitman will answer fan questions, and we'll talk about over 300 Easter eggs hidden throughout the film in advance of the streaming. We're giving away more tickets. Minix, you have tickets that you're giving away during the Blitz today.
Ooh, I can't wait. That's why you read the copy, so you understand how big of a deal it is before you just do the giveaway.
I think Pledger needs to come over to me and say, hey, this is kind of a big deal. Instead of saying, hey, look, I ate a rib very well. He was more excited about showing me that he ate all the meat off a rib bone compared to saying, hey, look, this is a little bit different. This is more than just movie tickets. So my bad.
Yeah.
So that laugh.
Blame the producer.
Oh, I love that man. I love Pledger. He's my boy. Hey, you heard a laugh back there. That is Jeff Garcia from Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs. How excited are you about a new Ghostbusters movie starring People Magazine's sexiest man alive, Paul Rudd?
At the front of that, I'm going to say Jason Minix for a second there. I was waiting for you to say.
He was runner-up. Honorable mention.
He mispronounced the name.
He mispronounced. I figured. You know what? I remember seeing the original Ghostbusters back on Southwest Military Drive at the old Century South Theater. That's been a while.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, looking forward to seeing it. I am very, very much a stickler to the OG flicks. I don't like tampering with classics, so I'm going to go in with very, very. The bar is set high, fellas. The bar is set very high.
Why set the bar high?
No, what I'm hearing, Michael, is he's saved in his drafts already the tweet that talks about how much the movie sucks, and he hasn't even gone to see it yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be like hated it. Yeah,
hated it. Yeah.
Yeah, save your $20 and don't go. That's
I mean,
what I do.
he posted on Twitter the other day that he didn't like. Well, he said he thought Free Guy was okay. Free Guy was just okay. I'm sorry, Free Guy was amazing. Ryan Reynolds just carried that movie. That was such a fun movie. Yeah. My wife and kids loved it. We're gonna watch that movie 30 or 40 times. It's great for families. I mean, it's kind of like Jumanji. We have that on the rotation. We have Dora the Explorer, the live action movie, on rotation. We have Grown Ups with Adam Sandler on high rotation in the Jimenez household. Free Guy, when that's available for me to record on DVR or whatnot, will be on that rotation. It's a great movie, man.
It just reminded me of just Tron. Some AI comes to life, and it's Tron.
Oh, you're giving reference to a 1985 movie that I've never seen before, but I did play the video game.
Put it on your list. Put it on your list then.
I played the
Put it
video
on
game.
your movie list.
Now, earlier I asked Minix, which of these movies, these sequels, and you retweeted this, by the way, are you most excited about? Lethal Weapon 5, Scream 5, Young Guns 3, Legally Blonde 3?
Leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Yeah, they're fine as is.
Answer the question, man. Answer the question.
I'm with, as a guy that doesn't go to movies, I don't know what the hell Tron is or Free Guy for that matter. But Nev Campbell, I know. So give me Scream 5 if I'm forced to go watch one of these movies.
Probably Lethal. I'll go with Lethal Weapon if I'm have to pick from that list. Yeah, just to see if Mel Gibson can still deliver.
Wow.
So
says a lot about Jeff Garcia.
I know, man.
High standards with these flicks. Pleasure knows. I got, you got to really wow me in the theater. If I'm going to pay, $20 to go see a movie? Yeah, I better be wowed.
I'm one of the few people who liked the Coming to America sequel. I thought it was okay because I went in there with no expectations. I didn't go in there thinking, because Coming to America, the first one, is on my Mount Rushmore of movies. My 4 favorite movies of all time, Coming to America is one of them. I enjoyed the sequel because I went in there knowing it wasn't going to be great, and I just enjoyed it for what it was. It could have been better, though.
It had its moments. I just wasn't impressed. And the first one meant a lot to me because I split time between New York and San Antonio. I live in Queens, so there's a little bit of that there for me. But this one,
Have you ever eaten at McDowell's?
Yeah, no, but Coming to America 2 was, I guess, sure, it's fine.
Another movie coming out next year is Creed 3. You're gonna say that you're looking forward to that one.
That one I do, yeah. I will look forward to that one.
The best part of Coming to America 2 is, one, a whole lot of people got paid thanks to Eddie Murphy. And the second part, it made me go back and rewatch Coming to America, the original. That was the best part of it, is I had to go watch and rewatch the originals because I'm the dude, honestly, there might be 5 movies that I've watched a second time. I'm normally a one and done when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't have that many that are on my rewatch list. A Few Good Men, that's one that I will rewatch every time. What else? Well, all Star Wars movies, except for the more recent trilogy. Hell no. Those need to be banished from the universe, from existence. Batman, the Chris Nolan saga trilogy, those are good. I can rewatch those every day. But Jimenez, no. How did you not put Top Gun on that list, though?
Well, because those were going to be the obvious. Those were going to be the obvious answers. Top Gun 2 and Creed 3 would have been the obvious answers. I wanted to see who's going to say Legally Blonde 3 because I'm looking forward to that. Now, there's a lot of movies that I watch now because, like I said, prior to 1988, didn't watch much of anything unless it was John Hughes related. But the fact of the matter is that everything since then, I watch a lot of movies. I watch way too much Netflix, but I like to watch a movie over and over and over again to the point where I kind of can memorize all the lines. So we're talking about movies like Rounders, Swingers, Fight Club, Shawshank Redemption, Field of Dreams, The Untouchables. I mean, I can go on and list you about 20 movies where you do not want to be in the room with me because I will recite every line to that movie. And I'm looking forward to Free Guy being that next one. Come on, man. It has Mariah Carey in there singing that Mariah Carey song, Fantasy. And speaking of Mariah Carey.
There's reason enough not to watch it.
Well, no, because way to step on my transition, because Mariah Carey has a huge Spurs fan being Keldon Johnson. You stepped over my transition. Now, Keldon Johnson is a big Mariah Carey fan, and I respect him for it. Now, it's not Fantasy. He likes We Belong Together. That's the song that he likes. But Spurs back in action tonight against the LA Clippers. Yeah, he's tweeted back and forth with Mariah about it. She's thanked him about it.
I wonder if he's ever watched Glitter. Remember that
yeah.
movie that she made?
I've never seen Glitter or Gigli. Those are 2 movies that maybe I should watch just for funsies.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Go watch Tron. Go watch Tron instead.
Spurs back in action tonight. No Kawhi Leonard, right? Kawhi Leonard might not come back until next season for all we know.
Yeah. Shocking. On his timeline.
What are you looking forward to in this game tonight?
Can we just replay every single Locked On Spurs? And every time I come on your show here, Jimenez, the same thing, just development, just for them to get better each and every day. I mean, that's the best that you can expect out of them. Devin Vassell taking leaps and bounds. DeJounte Murray, we know what he's doing. Hurdle, hopefully he comes back soon. Get well. But you just hope for some competitiveness. I mean, that's the best you can hope for right now. I mean, even without Claw tonight, Clippers should, take care of San Antonio. Maybe they'll make it interesting. But this is just a team in transition and development, and that's the best you can get, Jason, out of this team. I mean, seriously, we're going to be beating this over and over again the entire season.
And again, no Jakob Poeltl, which obviously helps or hurts the size of this team. We talked earlier about Keldon Johnson, and when I was on Locked On Spurs with you, we talked about this, and I've talked about this on the Blitz. Keldon Johnson might be the biggest disappointment to this part of the San Antonio season, mainly because the expectations were so high, and maybe the expectations were too high for Keldon Johnson. But all offseason, he was the untradeable guy. Build around what Keldon can do. But what do you have? 6 3-pointers against the Lakers the other day, which I believe is a career best. You could see the work that he's doing. He said that he's been working a lot with Chip England, making it one motion. He's in the gym getting better. And I think that's what we have to look at when it comes to this Spurs team is the incremental growth and the development. You're seeing it. It's very obvious with the Devin Vassell. I think it's very obvious that DeJounte Murray has taken the keys to the car, man, and he is not shy about, hitting the gas pedal and going. I mean, he's not driving like a teenager. So, I mean, you look at it, and I think Keldon is getting there, but some of these losses could be wins if you had better play from Keldon Johnson, the one guy you thought you could count on starting of the season.
And also, too, Derek White, MIA past few games. If he just gives his season averages, maybe the Spurs get a couple of these wins in the past few games. So you got White not performing quite well at all right now. You have Keldon. Hopefully he'll use that last game, Jason, as a springboard moving forward to help get the Spurs some W's. But, my goodness, the schedule's just been rough for them. They got the Clips tonight. They had the Lakers the other night. They got the Suns on the horizon. So, there's just they just got so many heavy hitters to start their season that you just hope that it just pays off for their development in the future as the season goes on. Throw them in the fire. They got no choice but to go into the fire thanks to the schedule makers. Hopefully they'll be a better team of this. So, I was talking about Locked On Spurs. I think I was talking about this with Jimenez the other day, but is Devin Vassell slowly going into that tier of untouchable, close to untouchable? Is he inching closer towards that now with his performance? His month to month from October to November across the board for the most part just spiked statistically. Points, rebounds, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage.
Devin Vassell is the second best
advocate.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're about to say what I was about to. I mean, he's right now playing as the second best player on this roster.
Yeah, Devin Vassell is the second best player on this team, and I've been saying that, by the way, even before he's gone off the last couple of weeks. Yeah, he shoots the 3. He can guard the 1, 2, and 3. Is kind of okay handling himself with the 4. He's kind of a hybrid of Sean Elliott, a little bit of shades of Kawhi. There's a lot to go there, and he has a high ceiling. And you mentioned the spike in points that he has. I believe right now he's the 3rd highest player in the NBA right now when it comes to that leap in points per game. I think he's gone up over 7 points per game. He's shooting 48% from the field for the season. He's amazing, and he should be starting.
Just from October to November, guys, his minute increased by about 1.5-ish. That's it. Just 1.5-ish. So, and he's doing all of this in just an extra minute and a half. So I wonder if the Spurs maybe look at him and be like, you know what? Maybe this is the guy that.
Well,
we got something here.
Let's face it. A lot can get accomplished in 90 seconds. But when you look at what he's done, to say he's untouchable, is he increasing his value? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look at I'm not in favor of the Spurs making any major moves to try to help this year's team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to acquire people that cost us players and draft picks, Ben Simmons. But I do like the idea if you have to trade him to get better draft picks or better players to go with the draft picks they're going to get because they are looking like that lottery team. I don't know if anybody is untouchable at this point if it helps build towards the future.
Yeah, I mean, they got definitely some good pieces to flip, don't they now? I mean, look at DeJounte. He's been looking pretty good. They got Devin looking good. Still got Keldon, and he's still good. He just hasn't taken that big leap forward as many expected. So there's bait right there if the Spurs want to do something else.
Let me ask this question real fast, okay? Because when you're trying to develop a championship team, it has to be a team. It can't just be one star and just four scrubs. So I look at it this way. Can DeJounte Murray, is he good enough to be the point guard, the starting point guard for a championship contending team? I think so. I think he's taken that leap. Devin Vassell, can he be the starting shooting guard? I know he plays at 2-3 kind of hybrid position, but can he have that potential? I'm not saying he's there now. He's not there now, but he's getting there. Can he have that potential? Yes. Can Jakob Poeltl be that guy down low? It's one of those things where I'm looking at it, and I think that this team is separating itself from who are actually legitimate pieces for the future and who are not. And we're seeing some players slide down. Derek White being the biggest disappointment for me this year. And it's beyond me wanting just Vassell to start. Derek White looks lost out there offensively. Defensively, he still brings it, but offensively, he doesn't look like he's comfortable out there. He's passing up on certain shots. He's not confident out there. I thought he was going to break out of it against the Lakers. He made 2 of his first 3 shots and then just, was brick after brick after brick the rest of the way. But the Drew Show on Facebook Live says, or on YouTube rather, says, tell me Vassell is Alvin Robertson's talent with hopefully a sturdier body. Alvin Robertson.
Iverson was a monster. And he was a monster on that court.
Alvin still has the NBA record for 301 steals in a single season.
Yeah. Alvin was something to watch in the Hemisphere Arena. He really, really was. But you look at Vassell and his growth, and we forget he's just in his sophomore season.
He's 21 years old.
That's it. He's just entering his sophomore. Didn't even have the luxury of a G League, or
and that's why he's good.
I was going to say that probably helped him more than it hurt him.
Yeah, and so you like where his trajectory is going, but it makes me think about this team as they move forward in their season. Is do the Spurs brass make a attempt to change it up? I know Jason just said right now you wouldn't want them to make an in-season trade, but if something's enticing there, I mean,
I don't want an in-season trade that costs the Spurs players and picks. Because I am building and thinking about next year, the year after. So if when the deadline comes around, if the Spurs are able to get an expiring contract and somebody else's first-round pick or 2 first-round picks over the next couple of years, then as much as I'd hate to see some of these players leave the organization, I do that. But the idea of trying to make this year's team better to get in the first round to get bounced, and that costs you picks, I am totally against that.
Yeah.
Now, Jeff, before we let you go, one quick question. Joshua Primo, were Spurs fans, including myself, were we wrong when Brian Wright selected him in the first round this past year?
You mean the guy that you think is a hologram?
Yeah, Brian Wright's a hologram. He doesn't exist.
Yeah, apparently, he made it seem Brian Wright's a hologram. The jury's still out, in my opinion. He's looking good in just a game in Austin. He looked good in a summer league, which is not NBA talent, level. We need to see him at the big club first. I think that's going to be the next step for him. He had 21 points in second half for Austin. But again, it's the Austin Spurs going against Mexico City Capitanes. So we'll see how he does against the Clippers or, some of the Warriors.
And that's the big question. What is better for Primo, 10 minutes a game in the NBA or 30 minutes a game playing in Edinburgh, Texas for the Austin Spurs?
Pleasure was on Locked On Spurs, and I agree with him when he came on. He needs to be on the Keldon Johnson track. Just let him cook for a little bit. I'm okay with that. I mean, if he's there for a month and a half, that's fine. Let him get his reps in. But if this season's going south, as it's looking like it's going to be going south, Jason, I say give the kids some run in the varsity team.
Exactly. That is Jeff Garcia with Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs. Thanks for being on with us. We look forward to it. Hey, we got some sports.
Glad to be home, by the way. Finally, back home in San Antonio.
We're gonna get tacos this week, baby. I promise you. We're getting
and we're taking 3 years. Pandemic.
We're taking pleasure somewhere along either military West Commerce. We're gonna make it happen.
Don Pedro's. We're dragging Medina there. We're gonna drag
if you're
Medina.
Taking pledge, he's gonna want to go to Taco Bell, man.
I heard we were going to Marbach.
Hey.
Yeah. Good luck, Pledge. Yeah, well, we got your back, Pledge. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, here's Pledge with some sports headlines. The 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
All right, guys, the Cleveland Guardians are back. Woo! The Indians, who are switching their name to the Guardians next season, settled their local lawsuit with a roller derby team by the same name, reaching what is being called an amicable resolution.
We wrote them a check.
Cleveland can now reportedly start selling merchandise for the Guardians moving forward ahead of the holiday season.
I love the name Guardians. It means something to the city of Cleveland. They have these Guardian statues on their freeways. It's amazing. Either that or just name them the Caucasians. Either one would have worked for me. And Minix has no care.
He didn't like that one at all. The 49ers outshine the Rams in Odell Beckham and Von Miller's LA debut out in San Francisco last night. The 49ers thumped the Rams 31-10. Stafford, who had a 33.6 quarterback ranking, completed just 26 of 41 passes for 243 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. The new shiny objects, Odell Beckham caught 2 of 3 targets for 18 yards in his debut, while Von Miller had 3 tackles and a tackle for loss. Is LA still one of the favorites in the NFC?
Well, first of all, I got excited when Odell Beckham caught the first pass of the game. So I thought, ooh, they're going to integrate him early on. And then he basically disappeared the rest of the way. So that's disappointing. I shouldn't have had expectations. It was his first game with the team. He's new to the team. But I thought it was interesting that the first play went directly to him. They have all the named players, man. I don't trust Stafford yet, but they've got some big names. But what concerns me about the Rams is their lack of a running game. And that's what you need to beat a team like the Cowboys. That's what you need to beat a team like the Packers, and they don't have it.
Headline 0.
The Philadelphia 76ers have fined Ben Simmons for failing to travel with the team on a road trip. This, according to the Athletic's Sam Charania. The standoff is a disagreement between the two sides over Simmons' mental health. Simmons' camp reportedly claims the Sixers are trying to force him to play despite his struggles with mental health, while the team apparently wants information from its mental health professionals that actually show Simmons' need for the time off.
What do you think, Minix?
Just keep finding the guy. He ain't showing up for work. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is a shame the lengths that we have come in recognizing mental health and the awareness and getting help. Look at everything that Dak Prescott is doing right now to encourage people that need help to get help. And for Ben Simmons to play that card like it was his last one is just insulting. And the 76ers have called his bluff. And the fact that he won't go see doctors they recommend, that the NBA recommends, is further proof that he's full of crap. He's just trying to use it as an excuse and nobody's buying it. You missed the flight, here's your fine.
I agree. The scouting report when Ben Simmons came out of LSU was he was all about himself, that everything revolved around him, that he was a narcissist, but he was such a great talent. That's why he was drafted top of the draft. But I agree with you. He's not showing up for work. You don't get paid, man. You don't get paid. And I think that a lot of teams, I hate to say this, are learning from what the Spurs had to go through with Kawhi Leonard. They're taking it a harder stance when it comes to it because at the very least, they can at least recoup some of their money.
Some of the owners, the owner side and the Players Association side, the Players Association side has certainly got a lot of power for the players. And generally speaking, I'm for power for the players.
Right.
But I think this is the owners saying, you know what, you got 4 years left on your deal. We've got to get some of this power back.
That's the 411 and the 210.
I cannot wait for Thursday afternoon. I may not be a Cowboy fan, but I'm a football fan. Chiefs, Cowboys, 3:25 Sunday afternoon. America's team going against Patrick Mahomes. 2.5-point spread. I cannot wait. When we come back, Solomon Wilcots, former NFL star and NFL radio host for Sirius XM, will join us to talk about the Cowboys, talk about the NFL in general. We are going to be talking more about who he thinks is the top of his power rankings, who he thinks is going to make the Super Bowl. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com.
Rock the Mic moves into the voting phase. 12 finalists, live auditions, and only one 2021 Rock the Mic winner.
Hi, this is Carolina Teague, the Rock the Mic 2 winner.
Vote for your favorite Rock the Mic champ now at sasportstar.com. And join us for the live auditions from Slacker Sports Bar throughout November. Only one will be crowned the 2021 Rock the Mic champion. Presented by Slacker Sports Bar and in part by Jim B. Rock the Mic on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Don't wait to put an end to junk sleep. Shop Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale and wake up a better you. Save up to $500 when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase up to a $499 value. Or shop Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America, and save up to $500 on adjustable mattress sets. Unjunk your sleep. Only at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. See details at mattressfirm.com.
Did you know there's dust floating around your home?
Really?
Yeah. Dust starts on hard surfaces like shelves and ceiling fans. And when you walk by, dust starts to move, compromising the quality of the air you and your family breathe.
So, what do I do?
Get Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster. Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster is the fast and easy way to trap and lock dust.
Before it gets into the air.
Exactly. So you can just... Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster, proud partner of the American Lung Association.
So much to explore at Total Wine and More. Pinot Noirs, Gregios, Champagnes, and Chardonnays, plus more than 2,500 beers and bourbon barrel-aged. Tequila, rum, scotch, and gin vermouth that's extra dry. Hard seltzers and single malts, so many for you to try.
Now offering delivery in select markets. See details at TotalWine.com/delivery. Drink responsibly, B21.
You can talk keto all you want, but if you don't have a team of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the diet marathon. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have these big, bold flavors that kick your taste buds into high gear. Korean kimchi barbecue, pasilla chili cheese, spicy dill and more. Eat them right out of the bag or try them in your favorite recipes. You'll love this snack. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rinds.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Hi, welcome to Furniture Depot. And you, come on in. Yes.
Couches are flying off the floor at Cheyenne's Furniture Store.
Sarah, can you go over to dining sets, please?
She needs more sales associates before shoppers take their seats elsewhere.
Somebody get me a price check on trundle beds.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Big news from Simply Safe Home Security. Okay. Actually, I think the horns are too much. Nah, that's better. Big news. The new wireless outdoor security camera is here. Yes, Simply Safe's award-winning home security just got even better, taking whole home protection to a whole new level. Okay, I'm missing the horns. Simply Safe is celebrating this new camera with 50% off a new system this week. Visit simplysafe.com.
Hey y'all, I'm Grant Pinkerton of Pinkerton's Barbecue in downtown San Antonio. We only smoke prime meats with a blend of post oak and mesquite. Come see us for some of those giant beef ribs, tender brisket, and a cold big red. We have a Texas-sized bar, great selection of bourbon, and tons of local beers. I love sports, so we have plenty of screens to watch them on. We're open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner or until we sell out. Come early, come hungry, and stay late.
The best seat in the house is on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Football season is in full swing, and so is San Antonio Sports Star's Pro Football Pick'em, brought to you by Pinkerton's Barbecue. Go to sasportstar.com and pick the winner to each week's slate of NFL games for a chance to win weekly gift cards to Pinkerton's Barbecue and Mellow Mushroom. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. Make your picks. Brought to you by Pinkerton's Barbecue. Welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. My name's Michael Jimenez, joined by Jason Minix and James Pledger. Big game this weekend, Cowboys and Chiefs. And we have a special guest to talk to us about this game, along with a very important topic here of student athletes need to get COVID testing and how that can be accomplished. We have Solomon Wilcots, former Cincinnati Bengal, and he's with Sirius XM and NFL Radio. Join us. Solomon, how are you doing today, man?
Guys, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, first and foremost, Cowboys and Chiefs this weekend. Big game. How big of a statement win would this be for the Cowboys if they were to go to KC and win on the road?
Oh, man. Hey, you and I both know it could be very defining for the organization as a team that is to be reckoned with. I mean, let's face it, the Cowboys have been on a tear. They've just had that bounce-back win, winning over the Atlanta Falcons. But this would be a signature win, just like Week 1, had they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I thought they played very well in that game. But you and I both know to be able to play with the big boys and come away a winner. I mean, the Chiefs are a team that's won 5 straight division titles. They've gone to the AFC title game 3 straight years. They've gone to the Super Bowl 2 consecutive years. So to be able to come away with a win going into Arrowhead, to beat a Chiefs team that's won 4 of their last 5 games, including 3 in a row, would be a huge win for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Solomon, and I'm a huge Cowboy fan, and I'm with you, but I'm not trying to overemphasize the importance of this game or how well Kansas City is playing. And yeah, they destroy the Raiders 41-14, but they beat the Packers 13-7. They beat the New York Giants 20-17 during this 3-game win streak. I'm trying to determine, where do I categorize the Kansas City Chiefs? They're certainly dangerous, but they haven't been dangerous all year except for last week's game against the Raiders.
That's because teams, just like you wouldn't take anything away from the Cowboys and the explosive offense you saw last week against the Falcons, because teams are building week to week. Just like you wouldn't take anything away from that explosive performance, you can't take anything away from the explosive performance from the Chiefs against a good Raiders team that's, reeling emotionally, but still bringing a lot to the table. And I saw Andy Reid working things out with the way that he was dialing up plays in that game on Sunday, working off the rust of Patrick Mahomes. They've had to go back to the drawing board to do things differently so that they can begin to build into the team that they want to become. Same thing with the Patriots. It's not about who you are in September and October. It's about who you are in November and as we head into the critical month of December. So the last sample size, I think, is worth noting. I wouldn't over dramatize it, but I wouldn't dismiss it either.
That is Solomon Wilcots, former NFL safety and Sirius XM NFL radio host. Tell us about the ups and downs of the season. As you mentioned, it's about getting hot later on and getting better and better as the week goes on. But we've seen teams like the Buccaneers lose back-to-back games. We've seen teams like the Cowboys lay an egg against the Broncos, the Rams lay an egg against the 49ers, and it just seems to be happening a lot these days to the top-tier teams. Tell me about the ups and downs of the season, especially now that it's a 17-game long season.
Exactly. Look, that's why teams don't go undefeated year in and year out. This isn't college. It's a grown man's league. People are getting paid to make adjustments and sort of morph what they're doing to take away what it is you're doing. And if you can't adjust in terms of scheme, if you can't handle it psychologically, being able to bounce back from poor performance, then it becomes a trend, and then it becomes who you are. And so that's why it was critical for the Cowboys to bounce back from their loss to the Denver Broncos. The Broncos have a really good defense, by the way. I mean, It's not like, they're not a team, that comes to play. That's a really good defense. And so they got the better of the Cowboys. The Cowboys were able to put together a performance where they were able to bounce back. And so that tells you psychologically, schematically, they were able to pinpoint what it is they did wrong and be able to fix it. And the Chiefs are one of those teams that they haven't had the firepower that they were accustomed to having. Teams were forcing them to win differently and do things differently, defending the goal line with that cover two shell, forcing Mahomes to be more patient. And when he wasn't patient, he was turning the ball over. And now he's become more patient. And once he was taking what the defense was giving him, now you force the defense to have to come out of that thing that they were doing so well. And so that's what I think, we have to understand. These teams are developing and morphing into what they ultimately want to become. And it's a process that's unfolding before our very eyes. The teams that can do that more consistently and bounce back from their failures and not have to wait week to week to adjust, but do it in game, those are the teams that are going to win more consistently.
Solomon Wilcox joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Solomon, I know you're an LA guy. We saw the Rams last night just get hammered on Monday Night Football in a game everybody thought they were going to win and win easily. You've seen them go all in with some of the additions they've made mid-season, but struggling. How difficult is it to join a team, a good team, mid-year and make an impact like OBJ is expected to do or Von Miller is expected to do?
Yeah, talent doesn't make a team, right? Just because you go out and collect the talent, throw a bunch of guys together in football, chemistry is so very important. And so whether it's Von Miller, whether it's Jalen Ramsey, a newcomer, like Matthew Stafford, and now Odell Beckham Jr. You lose a Robert Woods, right? He's a guy that is accustomed to the offense and knows what Sean McVay wants. And so now you're having to bring all these guys together and get them to play as a team with great chemistry. Look, last year, let's just take the Buccaneers, for instance. There were two new guys, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. And I guess you can say Leonard Fournette, right? But for the most part, that team had already been there, playing there with Jameis Winston. They only had to change the quarterback, plus the other two guys that I mentioned. It took them a while, just having Tom Brady to adjust to all the other guys. They're kind of doing the same thing, bringing in a bunch of veterans, throwing them all together and saying, okay, let's go win now. It's hard to do, guys, in the NFL because it takes time, it takes reps, a lot of practice together, and then games together. There's a trial and error component to this thing before you can develop that chemistry. Let's see if the Rams can weather the storm in time to make a run in the playoffs. I know the Buccaneers did it. They kind of righted the ship just as they were entering the month of December, and from there, that team never looked back. Let's see how quickly the Rams can pull it together, or if they can do it at all.
Now, before we get into Operation Expanded testing, who are your favorites right now for the Super Bowl? If you had to bet money on it, say these are my two teams that I think right now are the 1 and the 1A in line to be in the Super Bowl this year, who would those teams be?
It's the Buffalo Bills in the AFC, and then right behind them, it's still going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills are a well-rounded team. They play defense from the back to front. It's not about pass rush as much as it is on the back end and the secondary and your ability to defend the pass. And they have continuity where those guys have all been together for about 4 or 5 years. I think the Bills are ready. They got a quarterback who appears to be ready. And I think it's going to come down to them and the Chiefs to see who represent the AFC. And I think the way, the Cowboys are built summarily to the Bills from that back end to the front end. Michael Parsons has been phenomenal as he's sort of grown within this defense. And on the back end, they take the ball away, tied for second with the Patriots for the most interceptions, 14. Only the Bills have more than the Cowboys. They have 15 interceptions on the year. Tell you how good they are. But no, for me, it's the Cowboys and it's the Cardinals. Now, it's hard for me to dismiss the Buccaneers, but only because they have so many injuries in their secondary, they're giving up a lot of plays. But I'm not ready to write the Bucks off. But right now, it's got to be the Cardinals and the Cowboys in the NFC.
Didn't hear the Packers.
No, you did. That's because no, there's a chink in their armor. I just believe that when it comes down to it, man, the Packers can be had. I think they're playing better. I love what I saw from them the other night. But no, the Packers have been to that NFC title game, 3 years in a row? 2 years in a row for sure, you know?
Solomon, we generally get to see live in person on Radio Road during Super Bowl weeks, and you're walking around. If I remember right, the last time I saw you was probably down in Miami at that Super Bowl, and you were doing some work over in the UK, talking NFL football over there in the UK. Talk about how the game has grown over there and the weird questions you might get from those people, them listeners, those fans.
Yeah, you're right. I think they have a tremendous fan base that's very knowledgeable. You'd be surprised how you can go into the stadium there at Wembley. All 32 teams are represented. You can find one family, and one member will be wearing a Dallas Cowboy jersey. Another one will be wearing an Eagles jersey. The wife is wearing a jersey of the New York Giants. And you're like, wait a minute. Don't you know these teams are mortal enemies? You can't have the same family wearing rival jerseys, but they get to pick and choose their team because they're not tied in, right, geographically. They're not tied in by tradition because it's all so new to them. But I can tell you this, they ask very intelligent questions. They know the coordinators. They can tell you who the special teams coordinator are. They know the systems, the schemes, and that teams run. They know everything about players going all the way back to their college days. So they do their homework, and they ask good questions. I just found it ironic that you could have a family member and they're wearing rival jerseys, and you would never see that in the U.S. Never see that here.
That is Solomon Wilcots, former NFL safety and SiriusXM NFL radio host, joining us here at halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. You have a very important message that you want to bring out, right? It's called Operation Expanded Testing. This involves student athletes. What is this operation?
Yeah, every fall season, it's football season. We know it's time to get back to football, and we need to keep our players on the field safe, so just like we do in the NFL. And we want to do the same for kids to keep them in school, but do so safely during this global pandemic. And I'm partnering with Affinity Empowering and Operation Expanded Testing, which is a federally funded program that provides free and ongoing COVID-19 surveillance testing in our local schools and other community organizations. Again, Affinity Empowering, they come out, they implement the program. It's for schools K through 12. It's easy to sign up, no audits, no paperwork. All you got to do is go to the website at www.affinitytesting.com, Affinity with an A, or you can call the number at 844-631-0469. All you got to do is just click on the enrollment button. It's very easy to enroll. And the most important thing, it's free. So it doesn't cost you anything.
Absolutely. And Solomon, as you bring that up, and we were talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers earlier, and they might not be favored to get to the Super Bowl this year. And obviously with everything that went on last week with Aaron Rodgers, publicly everybody says what you would expect them to say about their teammate. How much division has getting a vaccine or not getting a vaccine, do you think, caused in NFL locker rooms this year?
Surprisingly, I think the players have handled it well. I really do. I think they've handled it well because they all know each other. They are family members. And now this thing has come down. And listen, even within their own nuclear families, they've got people who decided to get the vaccine and people who haven't, right? I'm sure they may have a mom or a dad who's immune compromised and said, look, it's not for me. And I think we've all had to learn to accept one another and the personal choices that people are making. So it's not as divisive as maybe you thought it would be. I do think Aaron could have done a better job of being more transparent and less, let's face it, he was very misleading. But you know what? I think the media could have done a better job because Aaron is a smart guy. This guy hosted Jeopardy, right? His words are very well chosen, carefully chosen. And when he was asked, is he vaccinated? He responded by saying, I'm protected. I have immunity. And working in the media, guys, you know this. We need to do a better job of making sure that the question gets answered. There's this thing called a follow-up question in journalism. You knew he didn't answer it, and all we had to do was say, does that mean you're vaccinated?
Come on, Solomon. Hindsight's 20/20 says, yeah, I'm immunized. I mean, I think for all of us, we all thought, all right, he's vaccinated. Cool. And he was standing there without a mask on.
Nope, the two don't mean the same thing. The two does not mean the same. Listen, and as a journalist, if you're a real journalist, you should understand that he did not clearly answer the question and that there should be more vetting. Say, look, just to be clear, did you get vaccinated? That's all you had to do.
Yeah, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. Cool. Yeah, you're right. Hindsight being 20/20.
Yeah, he has.
No, I'm telling you real time. And so this is not me Monday morning quarterbacking. I think it's Monday morning quarterbacking for all of the media who asked him the question. And when he said, I'm immunized, and then months later, try to label him a liar. He never lied. He misled, but no one asked him no one demanded a real direct answer to the question. We work in the media. We know that words do matter. And all I'm saying is we should be more fair. We judge athletes by what they do. And then when they come back at us, we don't want to be judged just as we're judging them. And so all I'm just saying is that when someone says they're immunized, it does not mean they've been vaccinated.
And the worst part of it for Packer fans out there, it cost them a game, which might ultimately cost them the one spot in the NFC.
There you go. That's very true. It did cost them a game. But you know what? The Packers wanted to get a good look at Jordan Love. They wanted an audition for him.
Did they?
They got it. I don't know that they liked what they saw.
Yeah. Careful what you wish for.
It's going to lead to a bigger storyline this offseason because, for all intents and purposes, Aaron Rodgers has stayed fast to his claim that he wants an opportunity to play somewhere else and that they can move on with Jordan Love. But I don't think, based on what they saw, I don't think they're ready to move on just yet.
That is Solomon Wilcots, former NFL safety and Sirius XM NFL radio host. Again, he was talking earlier about Operation Expanded Testing for student athletes. Again, you can log on to affinitytesting.com to learn more or call 844-631-0469. Solomon, thank you for being on the show today. Cannot believe you don't have Packers as one of your top 3 teams in the NFC. But, man, thank you for being on today.
How about this? They're in the top 4. Is that okay?
Very
nice. In the top 8. Hey, Jimenez is a Saints fan. You didn't mention them either for obvious reasons.
Exactly, because they have Trevor Siemian at quarterback.
Reasons, right? Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
Solomon, thanks for being on the show. Hey, we're going to put a bow on the show when we come back. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and on the go at sasportstar.com.
There's no other game like college football. And no one covers it better. It's game day every day for us. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The hits just keep piling on the Texas Longhorns as their star running back Bijan Robinson will miss the remainder of the season with a dislocated elbow. Robinson was the team's leading rusher with 1,127 yards and 11 touchdowns. He was injured late in the third quarter of the Longhorns' 57-56 overtime loss to Kansas. The Dallas Mavericks won their 5th in their last 6 following last night's 111-101 victory over the Denver Nuggets. Kristaps Porzingis led the Mavs with 29 points and 11 rebounds. The Houston Rockets lost their 12th in a row in Memphis last night, 136-102. Ja Morant dropped 22 to lead the Grizzlies. And the Spurs are back in action in LA tonight, this time taking on Paul George and the Clippers. Tip-off is scheduled for 9:30. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
The Rock the Mic finale will be live at the Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar North Star location this Thursday. We will have our final three and our Jim Beam wild card with us, and we're deciding the Rock the Mic 2021 champion. Who's going to be our next champ? Join us at the OG Slackers North Star location and help us congratulate our new ESPN Sports Star team member, and you can enter to win Dallas Cowboys home game tickets. Rock the Mic 2021, brought to you by Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
Central Builders Incorporated is a family-owned, award-winning general contractor headquartered in San Antonio. Since 1989, CBI has completed over $1 billion in construction projects, including large-scale remodeling, expansions, and ground-up construction. The award-winning CBI has also been recognized by the San Antonio Business Journal as one of the best places to work for the past 4 years, and Central Builders is hiring. Learn more at centralbuilders.net. That's centralbuilders.net.
Alamo Water Softeners is having a Black Friday special until November 27th. Purchase one of their bundles between today and November 27th and receive a free 1-year tune-up on your water softener and a free water heater flush. Jason Minix here. Alamo Water Softeners has water treatment bundles with special pricing to give your home the highest quality water treatment, and they're offering 0% financing for 2 years with approved credit. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference at alamowatersofteners.com.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
At CDW, we get modern servers need to be flexible, scalable, and predictable. I predicted you'd say that. Okay, what will I say next? Probably something about server security. Impressive and freaky. CDW can implement secure Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Gen 10 servers that improve speed and performance while reducing costs. See, predictable. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. I predict a web address. CDW.com/HPE. I'm in your mind, man.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pureline Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pureline Nutrition.
A 17-week season and only one couch. Let's hope it holds up. The Cowboys are back. The explosive action happens here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hi, this is Paul Feinbaum, and you're listening to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Jason Minix, thank you for being my co-host today. If you enjoyed these 2 hours of Minix, we have 3 more because at 4 o'clock he's back With the Blitz, Dan Shaughnessy will join him at 4:30. Doug Gottlieb of Fox Sports at 5. Shireen Williams of Pro Football Talk at 5:30. And the SA Sports Star injury update at 6 o'clock. We're also giving away tickets to Ghostbusters Afterlife fan event over at the Santikos Palladium. He'll be at the Texas Cheer Liquor on Wednesday. And then we crown Rock the Mic champ number 6 on Thursday.
It's going to be a fun time.
I'm looking forward to it.
Spurs today as well with Tom Orsborn, but really looking forward to talking to Dan Shaughnessy. He wrote this great book about the Celtics, and honestly, we'll talk about it at 4:30. It could be about the Spurs in about 10 years.
Awesome. This has been Halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star. See you tomorrow.
Cowboys football is not a gentle game. Cowboys football is not